his eyes. He could barely see. He choked during scenes with blood. The thick makeup blocked his pores. He lost weight and couldn't eat because of the thick mask on his face and his dry mouth. Once, while filming a scene where he walked with a cross, his foot caught on a rock, and he fell headlong into a tree. The cross hit him on the head. A real blow, unplanned. He lost consciousness again. They revived him, put ice on his face, and he continued because the camera was ready and the scene had to be shot in one day. All the dialogue in the film is in ancient Aramaic and Latin, languages that none of the actors knew. Jim memorized every line by ear phonetically and pronounced them not just as words, but as prayers. He rehearsed in a whisper, repeating phrases that would later last 3 seconds on camera 100 times, because he knew there was no room for falsehood. Any mistake was blasphemy. Mel Gibson demanded maximum realism. He said, "I'm not filming a parable, I'm filming the truth." Every blow, every spit, every drop of blood had to be real. Sometimes too real. Doctors were on duty on the set. Kavai's Zella had constant cramps. Back pain. He hardly slept. He slept sitting up to protect his makeup. Sometimes he didn't lie down at all, just sat and stared at the wall. In one of the scenes where Christ is lifted on the cross, there was a malfunction in the cable system. Kavai's was lifted too abruptly. His shoulder slipped. A dislocation caused severe pain, but the take was not interrupted. The camera continued recording. He hung on the cross with a real dislocation and spoke the final words. Then they took him off, took him to the doctor, and reset his shoulder. An hour later, he was back on set. The crew said something strange was happening on set. Equipment kept breaking down. Cameras would turn off on their own. Microphones would pick up strange sounds. Some of the staff quit, claiming there was something fishy about the film. Jim himself said he felt a presence he couldn't explain. He prayed not because he had to, but because there was no other way. As filming drew to a close, Jim no longer looked like an actor. His eyes were sunken, his face gaunt, his body exhausted. He spoke in a whisper, his fingers trembled. He barely ate. They said he fasted consciously to achieve the level of exhaustion that Christ must have felt. He didn't complain. He would say, "It's not me, it's the path." The crucifixion scene took a long time to film. Hours, days. Each take was physical torture. Wind, cold, open wounds, blood, flies. He was nailed to the cross again and again. The nails were fake, but the metal pressure on his hands was real. His skin was abraded. When they lifted him, the tension of the straps caused such pain that he almost lost consciousness. One of Gibson's assistants later said, "I've seen actors suffer, but what Jim did was martyrdom. He truly crucified himself." Doctors warned that it was dangerous to continue at such a pace. But Jim refused to stop. He said, "As long as I feel pain, I'm in character. As soon as it gets easy, I'll lose the truth." Quote, "This truth was visible in the frame. The camera didn't need special effects. The look, the voice, the trembling of his hands, everything was genuine. This was not an image of Jesus. This was the agony of a man who went through cold, pain, lightning, and loneliness, who gave up his career in exchange for a sense of faith." When the film was almost ready, Caviezel began to realize the consequences. The role that should have brought fame brought alienation. Hollywood did not accept him. Studios did not want to work with an actor associated with religious fanaticism. His image